Home is where the heart is. And what if the heart was a city full of infrastructural problems? Yes, I'm talking about the city, the beautiful city of Bangalore. Welcome to Vitamin B, where we help you take control of your well-being. In this unique podcast, I'm joined by two guests. Raj Pillai, who's a civil engineer, and more recently, a citizenship grassroots leader. He has fought against a number of violations on a single street, saved a tree and a park.
Anywhere between 500,000 to 1 million floating population in Bangalore every day. The percentage of the local population in Bangalore is the minimum.
You have done some incredible changes. You have fought the system, you have brought justice, and I want to label this as a story of a street, right?
This is 35 dB.
And in a bus, it's impossible.
It's
right?
impossible. You land at Bangalore, you get into the car, you roll down the window, you take a deep breath, and the air just does magic on you.
Yeah.
I strongly believe in the law of the land. I very much believe. I called the owner of these two bars at my house.
Okay.
And I called them at 10 o'clock in the night.
So 5 years, it took five long years
long.
to fight two bar owners and got them to shut down.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
That's incredible.
If let's say there is a building coming next to your house, or there is a violation of any kind of building, it's all there. You just have to go to BBMP site. That there are three types of societies. One is
Indiranagar was a place full of big bungalows.
exactly.
Now when you see 100 feet, each of those buildings, the shopping building has become, was a house before, right?
Exactly. The 100 feet road had a unique distinction of having what they call as a mutation corridor.
So come join me in this uniquely designed podcast just for y'all, that is our citizens and your well-being. So sit back, relax, and I'll see you at Vitamin B. Hi, Mr. Raj. Wonderful to have you at Vitamin B today.
Hi Mona, my pleasure all the way.
It's great. I was really happy to have you with us. I was so fascinated about your stories the first time we connected, and we immediately got into what hurts us most, the city that is around us, the beautiful city of Bangalore. And more than that, the kind of work that you've done to create an impact. This whole story of a street that we're going to talk about, it's simply so fascinating. And it's great to have citizen leaders like yourself. So I'm really, really happy to have you today with us.
Actually, first and the foremost, I'm really, I'm really honored and humbled to be with you, Mona, because I've seen your program and I really never thought that I have a story to tell. So it was you who spotted it.
Yeah.
And then I felt, yes, there is a story to be told.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure. It's absolutely a pleasure.
That is the most amazing thing, that there's so much courage around us and there's so many stories to tell, right? So I'm so happy that we have a platform today and really hoping that it does make a difference to people as well. So I want to begin with a real existential issue that's touching each one of us. And let's call the elephant in the room, right? What's going on? Why is Bangalore at a breakdown infrastructurally? What's the problem?
See, it's not the Bangalore per se problem. It's a problem with many urban cities in the world.
Right.
And probably in India, it is more chronic because of the kind of population and the density we have.
Yeah.
The reasons are very simple. I mean, people have to flock to the cities for work.
Yeah.
I'm on a conservative estimate, I'm told that there is more than almost close to anywhere between 500,000 to 1 million floating population in Bangalore every day.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
And Bangalore, has a unique distinction that it adjoins 1, 2, 3 states. Probably it is one of those rare capitals, the way it is placed, that you have uh, Tamil Nadu and Andhra very close,
Yeah,
and you have Kerala not at that distance.
very true. Yeah,
And it has been, for decades, it has been a place for providing employment when we had the fortune of having all the major public undertakings in Bangalore,
yeah,
be the BML, the BHEL, uh, all the large public
yeah,
undertakings. So many people came to migrated to Bangalore,
yeah,
and uh, the by virtue of its climate,
yeah.
we are at 1,000 meters,
Hmm. Hmm.
and at one point of time we had more than 500 beautiful lakes around the city.
Yeah,
So this was a unique combination which was found at that point of time, probably in countries like Switzerland,
yeah,
where you are at an altitude and you have the lakes.
yeah,
So you have the employment opportunity, you have a fantastic climate, and I think Bangalorean per se or Kannadigas per se are some of the best people in the world, I would say,
hmm.
in terms of assimilating various cultures, various language,
Yeah,
various people.
yeah.
I mean, we all know the percentage of the local population in Bangalore is the minimum. It is mostly people from
Outside
elsewhere.
now. Yeah.
I won't call them outsider.
It.
I'll say from those who have not, those who do
Yeah.
not origin from, whose mother
Yeah.
tongue is not
Yeah.
Kannada.
Hmm.
So this is a place of great opportunity. And with that comes the challenge. Unfortunately, I feel, if you ask me, what are the three reasons Bangalore is the Bangalore today in terms of the infrastructure issue, which you have pointed out? I think the first reason could be, the lack of planning, the urban planning.
Hmm.
Because if you remember 20 years back, you go 10 kilometers from MG Road and Bangalore used to be over,
Yeah, that's right.
which is not
It's
the case.
expanded so much.
Which is
these
not the
days. Yeah,
case.
that's
So with that, the infrastructure has not happened. Population is growing
Yeah.
multifold,
Mhm.
because of various reasons. People love to be in Bangalore, and once you come to Bangalore, you don't go from Bangalore.
Yeah.
Uh, the vehicle population is going huge because we don't have good public transport system.
Hmm.
But I think, to me, Mohana, the most important thing which is coming in the way of development of Bangalore as a as a as a as a as a as a great city compared to anywhere in the world
Hmm.
is the lack of empathy, sympathy, love for the city by the people who live in the city.
Yeah. So that is a aspect that we have talked about before, right? So for people like us who were born here, we have seen it tremendously change. And it's very painful to see what it was to what it is today. In the meantime, what you talked about was very interesting, which is the floating population. This floating population is there in every developed city. Does it own the city? Does it care about the city as much or not? Is one aspect. The other dimension is me as a person who's born here. Do I do enough for the city? Is the other problem. But who's the son of the soil? Like you mentioned once to me, who is the son of the soil, and why is it that people don't care? Also, Matt, I want to just get your perspective on that. Yeah.
The floating population, you can't blame them
Yeah.
because they're by nature they are
Yeah.
floating.
Yeah.
Okay. B, the people who have come here for employment,
Yeah.
their heart lies in wherever they have come from. So
Right.
they know they are going to be here for 3 to 5 years and
Yeah.
they have to go back.
Yeah.
Uh, the third one are the people, the ordinary citizens who have no say, who have to go through the grind.
Yeah.
The fourth one who have all the say, but
We
doesn't
don't do
make any
much.
say. So,
Yeah.
so it's a,
Yeah.
it's a. I think it's a very, very compounded, complicated problem. And I think, in my mind, we are fortunate that we still have a lovely weather. I always say that you take the weather away from Bangalore, within
Yeah.
no time, Bangalore will be empty.
You walk out of the airport and the breeze that hits you,
Absolutely.
you'll never find that anywhere
Oh my
else
God.
in the world.
Oh my God.
Right?
I tell you, Mona, I'm so much in love with this city that I had some great opportunities to work outside this city.
Yeah.
But the very reason I refused was is that exactly the same thing you said. You land at Bangalore, you get into the car, you roll down the window, you
And
take a
you
deep
just,
breath,
yeah, yeah,
and the air just
yeah,
does magic on you.
yeah.
The government is not doing anything, or this
Hmm.
agency is not doing anything, or that agency is not doing anything.
Yeah.
I think people have to start asking themselves,
Yeah.
I as an individual or collectively with my, the community around,
Yeah.
what is that I'm doing about the city?
Correct. Yeah.
The minimum, I'm saying the minimum of it am I doing?
Yeah.
I think the day this city starts having, let's say, even 100 people
Yeah.
doing this,
Yeah. It makes a very big
it will make the
difference.
difference. And to me, and I'm optimistic about that, that the day this breed of people increases, this city will be better.
Yeah, no, that's so beautiful, right? I know that, picking from that, you have done some incredible changes. You have fought the system, you have brought justice, and I want to label this as a story of a street, right? So there are three case studies that we will be touching upon, right? One was, I could not believe that you succeeded in it in a space like Indiranagar, which is so hot and happening, full of eateries, bars, and I can only imagine the influence it carries, right, to attract the rest of the city into, a nightlife, a weekend life, etc. In that, you brought down two bars. That's two drinking joints, because it was causing so many civic problems, issues for the neighbors, etc. So, what was really the primary concern, Raj? Let's start there, and I want our audience to understand that tomorrow, if they are having an issue, they can also learn from this and they can actually drive a change for themselves.
No, I'm thankful, Mona, that you consider this as a story.
Yeah.
And I hope that uh, this story helps others as well to make this city, which is so beautiful and wonderful.
Yeah.
So as you know that Indiranagar is also famous or infamous, whichever way you look at.
Yeah.
As per a survey, in less than uh, 3 square kilometer, you have more than 300 or 350 eateries and
Yeah.
the pubs and the bars and all that, and it's good to have.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the finest of the restaurants you have, place to chill out. It's fantastic. I mean, whenever I travel and I meet people and I say I live in Indiranagar, I mean,
They're like, wow.
they're, wow. So,
Actually, that is the expression.
so it's true.
Yeah.
It's nice actually. It gives you that feel of anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
But there is a flip side to that,
Hmm.
and the flip side to that is that, and I'm talking about Mona way back in 2014-15 kind of a thing.
Hmm.
So that was the time when these places, the eateries, the pubs, and the bars were just mushrooming, one after the another, and it was a good business proposition for everybody.
Yeah.
So fortunately and unfortunately, the building I live in, just diagonally opposite to me on the 100 feet road, there were two pubs, and uh, with I think I understand their compulsion, because when there are hundreds of pubs and competing against each other to woo the customers to their joint, either you can do it with good food and good ambience and good quality drinks, or you can just create a huge ruckus and get them in,
Loud music.
loud music
whatnot.
and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think these guys took the second route. In that process, they made uh, our life impossible. I mean, I would shudder to think when it is a weekend, because you just can't sleep the whole night. My walls used to rattle. I could feel the vibration in every inch of the house, And then I thought, is it with me?
Yeah.
Or is it with everybody?
Yeah.
Then I started moving around, talking to people, went to the apartments which were more closer to these bars, and they all had the same issue.
Sure.
But what to do? Uh, then I approached the authorities,
Yeah.
and some of them who were friendly to me, they advised me. They said, Raj, this is something, nothing can be done about,
Yeah.
because the business interests are so huge, you know, and many people at that point of time, yeah, it's a sad thing. Many people at that point of time, Mona, decided to move out of Indiranagar. I know many people who have moved out.
And actually, Indiranagar was a place full of big bungalows.
Exactly.
Now, when you see 100 feet, each of those buildings, a shopping building, has become was a house before, right?
Exactly. So, interestingly, I share with you, the 100 feet road had a unique distinction of having what they call as a mutation corridor.
Okay.
So, you have either a residential area or you have a commercial area. For some reason, it was declared as a mutation corridor. The very word mutation means that it is going to change from one to another.
Oh.
So under the garb of that mutation corridor,
Everyone started.
You can have a commercial establishment next to a residential building.
I didn't know this. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this was, I think, this was the root cause, and many people were making, misusing this actually.
Yeah.
So going back to the story, Mona, then what I did is two things. One is I started reaching out to the people, and then I realized there are hundreds and thousands of people who are affected and badly affected.
Yeah.
And as you know, Indiranagar has been primarily a retirees' paradise.
Yeah.
All these layouts were made for the people who retire, either from the bureaucracy or from the armed forces. So there were many, the really senior citizens who just couldn't do anything.
Yeah. So what steps did you take?
So coming to that, then, what I did is, I realized that it's a huge task ahead of me. And against the advice of many people to give up, I decided I will not give up, because I strongly believe in the law of the land. I very much believe in our country's constitution, the judicial system, and I have some very good friends who are excellent bureaucrats. So I thought I will look at whether the glass is half full or half empty. I will look at the half full part, not the half empty part.
Yeah.
So three things I did rather. I went and approached all the authorities, having known very well that most of the time it will be discouraged.
Yeah.
But I did that.
Okay.
Went and complained to the police, to the excise department, to the BBMP, everywhere, every official. I went and lodged a formal complaint. I think this is the first primary step any citizen should do.
Yeah.
Because
the authorities, typically the players are BBMP.
The police, the BBMP, the excise department. These are the three. Because the BBMP gives you the license to run.
Yeah.
The police ensures that the law and order is maintained.
Right.
Like, to give you an example, after 10 o'clock, the sound level cannot be more than 35 dB. This is 35 dB.
And in a bar, it's impossible.
It's impossible. So, excise department issues the license.
Yeah.
So the BBMP, the police, the excise department, the pollution control board. I remember that pollution control board office was somewhere in Bashwesh Nagar. So I went and complained to all these people. Formal complaint. Now, when you make a formal complaint, you also get to know the veracity of your complaint. Because what is wrong for me may not be really wrong.
Sure.
You got my point, no?
Yeah.
So when they take the complaint, then you realize whether your complaint stands good or not. That is the first thing. The second thing I did is I got actively involved with my resident welfare association. I become the president of the resident welfare association, because when you are undertaking this kind of a mammoth task,
yes,
you can't fight it alone.
Okay.
And there were so many aggrieved people who were willing to come
Which is
with
a
me,
true issue,
which is a
right?
true
Yeah,
issue.
yeah.
So I wanted the collective support, you know. So this is the second thing.
Yeah.
The third thing was, I also strongly believe in communication. I believe that you should communicate whether you agree to agree or whether you agree to disagree. You will not believe, Mohana. I called the owner of these two bars at my house.
Okay. Okay.
And I called them at 10 o'clock in the night.
Sure.
I said, I spoke to them. I said, you drop into my place, come and have a cup of tea with me, come at night, post 9. And when they came, then I said, see, this is my house. That's where your pubs are.
Yeah.
Now you tell me, if you are in my shoes,
will you live here at all, right?
what will you do?
Yeah.
So I thought that they will understand my pain. But then they decided to be clever by half, and they started blaming each other. Oh, this is not my music. I only play Bollywood music. This is English music. I mean, all kind of things. So I said, anyway, I have done my bit. I have spoken to you.
You tried with everything.
I tried. And I also told them, I said, see, boss, let me tell you one thing. I know some cases in other industries, especially in the construction industry. I said, because of the wrongdoing of one or two players, the entire industry suffers. And I said, you guys will go down the history as being instrumental to cause the pain to so many good players. See, you and me both go to pubs.
Yeah, of course.
We do.
Yeah.
And there are some good ones. I mean, I know there is a pub I don't want to name. The brewer used to be a good friend of mine. He was an Irishman, and this guy Mona, he had a sound meter.
Yeah. So they do
check,
control it.
They do control. Yeah. So they were mindful of what they were doing actually. You know.
So what did you do then, Raj? Did you have to complain to the?
So the first thing, I lodged the complaint. The second thing, I got the community support. The third thing, I spoke to these guys. These are the three things I did, Mona. And I would suggest every citizen who undergoes these kind of pain, whichever part of the world they are, they must do this. Yeah. These are the three essentials. The fourth thing I did, Mona, and which I said in the beginning, my belief in the judicial system, right? The law of the land. So in 2015, Mohana, I took these guys to the High Court.
Yeah.
I was fortunate to have a good lawyer, Jaina
Kothari.
Kothari. Sometime in 2019, we got the order.
Yeah.
And with little difficulty in implementing that order through the officials. In 2020, one of them closed his business, and another one closed the pub and switched over to a restaurant.
So 5 years, it took five long years to fight two bar owners and got them to shut down.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Summing up the story, I would say, if I look back, I think the right thing I did was, I think I followed what it takes the law to do.
Yeah.
You know, the flip side of the story is that there were many others, restaurants, the bars and the pubs who were having music, who used to have music concert. I feel sad for them because of these two bad apples. They suffered.
Okay.
And if you see the entire noise pollution, if I call it, in the whole Indiranagar has come down substantially.
It really has.
It has substantially come down.
Yeah.
It has come down. I mean, you have it, but you have qualitatively. You don't have quantitatively.
Yeah.
That anybody and everybody is shouting and screaming.
Yeah, true.
So I think, so it was interesting.
Yeah.
There were times when I was not sure what I'm doing is right or wrong.
Yeah.
But I think looking back, I think yeah.
And it takes time, Raj. Like, that's what I want our listeners to understand, that the legal system works.
It does.
You need to partner with a good lawyer.
It does.
On your side, who you can trust.
It does.
Who's working for it.
Yeah.
It it makes a difference in time. It needs
Yeah.
patience
Yeah.
and perseverance, but it works. And the other side could do so much in terms of influencing, spending money, and unfortunately, there are a lot of bribe situations. But if you just follow the due course, it can actually
And make it a collective movement. See, there was nothing personal against me versus them.
yeah, yeah,
This is something I want to tell everybody.
yeah,
There's nothing personal.
yeah,
It has to be a collective movement. So mine was a collective movement. There are, I'm sure you're going to talk to some of them.
yeah.
There were so many people, citizens,
Also got affected, right?
yeah, who got affected and who walked the line with me. I mean, I remember when we, you'll be surprised when we went to various offices, whether it was the excise department, whether it was the police department, meeting the police commissioner a couple of times, many times, whether it was the BBMP joint commissioner at the Mayor Hall. There were hordes of people from Indiranagar.
Yeah.
We all used to go collectively, 50, 100 of them, all walks of life, children, senior citizen, youngsters.
Yeah.
So I think it was a collective movement and it was a result of this collective movement. It was not me versus them. It was affecting all these people, and I think eventually the truth prevailed.
And truth prevailed.
And eventually the truth prevailed.
Okay. So, Raj, one of the things that before we actually talk about the other two unfortunate situations in the park as well as, the tree, right? I would like to understand some basic rules of the game. If you're going to construct a house, right, versus observe a violation that your neighbor has probably encroached some land of yours, etc. What are 2 or 3 things people should be aware of? How to construct and how to observe a violation?
Everything is available. All the bylaws, all the rules, everything available.
Yeah.
The problem with the citizens, and it is more with the educated citizens than the uneducated ones, that nobody wants to read the laws.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to read the bylaws. And most of the time, we got carried away with what I call as the WhatsApp university. I think if, let's say, there is a building coming next to your house, or there is a violation of any kind of building violations, it's all there. You just have to go to BBMP site, read all the bylaws, and the bylaws are very clear. Bylaws are very clear how much should be the setback, how the excavation has to be carried out, how the foundation has to be laid, how many floors the building can have. Everything is clear.
Sure.
So we go back to where I started with.
Yeah.
Unless the citizen starts taking part in it and taking part well informed, not by the hearsay, taking part well informed, and taking the right legal steps or the bona fide steps, as I call. That means going to the authorities, lodging a complaint in writing as per the bylaws, pursuing it, and ensuring that it is not with any vested interest. It is not that you are settling a score with the guy against you.
Yeah.
It is for the interest of the community.
Those are the things that matter, right?
Those are the tick marks.
So if I were a common citizen who's walked into a city like Bangalore or Karnataka, BBMP has a website with bylaws. So I need to basically get approvals against that bylaw.
Absolutely.
And because of those bylaws, if I observe violation that my neighbor or somebody has done that's affecting me, I have rights to go and fight.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's great.
Absolutely.
Great to understand.
And trust me, the rules are enforced by and large. See, people don't understand one thing. We do crib and cry that nothing is happening, but we should also understand this city is living, this city is thriving, the system is functioning.
Yeah.
If everything was wrong with BBMP, if everything was wrong with BDA, if everything was wrong with politicians, if everything wrong was bureaucrats, the city would have collapsed.
Yeah.
The city has not collapsed, no?
Yeah.
So we have, what my conservative estimate is, Bangalore should be having a population of almost 2 to 3 crores now, by now.
Yeah.
So 2 to 3 crores of population, almost 500,000 to 1 million of floating population, okay, with all the problems in the world, the city is surviving.
Yeah.
You and me are able to commute from one end to the another end. Correct. We are sitting in this your very house, and there is no violation which is affecting your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
So what does it mean?
Yeah.
But by and large, it works.
It works. So we need to know the rules. Yeah.
But where it is not working, you have to flag it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to flag it up, and you have to flag it up as per the rules. As simple as that.
Yeah. So, so tell us, Raj, what happened to the tree? Let's do that. Then we'll invite Jaina Kothari to come in and comment.
No, before the tree, I think I will take up the other larger issue,
which was the park.
Which is the park.
Okay. So let's talk about the park.
I will talk the park. Because why the park is because it's a fight which is going on for the last 17 years now.
Okay.
At least in case of the two pubs, I would say it was straightforward. It got into a logical conclusion. It helped Indiranagar in some way.
Yeah.
But this issue is still on. It's not closed.
Sure.
So again, on this first main road,
the same street.
The same street. The same street.
Yeah.
Incidentally, the same street. 10th main, first cross, Indiranagar. We have a CA site. So if you go on the first cross on the 10th main, so you have the BWSSB office, and there is a huge chunk of land, so literally when you're going from the 10th main towards the SSB school, on the right side till that Aparadipalya junction, the intersection, there is nothing. The BWSSB office and this land.
Sure.
All the buildings are on the left. So this is a CA site, Mohana, which was allotted to somebody, I think now almost 45 years back.
Okay.
By BDA to do some work for the underprivileged children.
Okay.
The LOT didn't do anything for almost 30, I think it was allotted for 30 years.
Sure.
So the 30 years passed. Then BDA wanted to cancel the lease.
Yeah.
Then this LOT took BDA to the court, saying that we were not provided enough time, so we need an extension of the lease. And then the whole matter went to the court.
Sure.
In between, the LOT tried to sublease it to somebody to start a college or some kind of institution over there. So that is where the whole of residents got together.
And we're talking about that space, which is the park.
Which is called the so-called park. Still it is not the park. Park is the dream. I'm calling it a land.
But today it's full of trees and.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. So it's a CA site, civic amenity site.
Okay.
So then when we realized that this could be misused, abused, so the citizens got together.
Yeah.
And that is where we got into the picture. So then we got ourselves implemented. Incidentally, what was happening, Mona, that just because this was no one's land.
Yeah.
This place I have seen this place getting abused to the extent that all the garbage will be burned there. There was some newborn fetus found there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can think of everything which was being dumped there.
Sure.
I remember not once, couple of times in the middle of the night, we calling the fire brigade because there is a transformer next to this land, and things were burned, and there was a threat that the transformer will blast.
Yeah.
So all kind of issues. It was impossible to live there actually for the citizens. So we got ourselves implemented almost 17 years back in this case, saying that it affects the citizens who live there.
Yeah.
So whatever the decision happens, whether by the court or by the BDA, we should be also heard because we have a stake in that.
Yes. And it's such a huge lung
and
space,
it is a CA site. It is a civic amenity site.
God.
So Justice Sen, gave us the first ray of hope. So he passed a judgment almost, I think, probably 10 years back, 8 years back. he passed the judgment saying that till further notice, it should be maintained as a park.
Wow. That's how you saved it.
Yeah. So that was the first ray of hope. But it says till further notice.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we approached the BDA, and then BDA commissioner was kind enough. So he said, I will, grant some fund, and I would ensure that the trees will be kept, the gardening will be done, and some fencing will be done, and it will be kept there. I would like to add here, apart from the citizens, we have a very prominent citizen living there. One Mrs. Rani Satish, who is a quite a renowned politician. Uh, she gave us a wholehearted support for this, because these things move only when you have people who are the influencers. So she was able to take us to all these officials,
Guide
and guide us. So sometime last year, if I recollect, sometime in January or so, finally we got the order from the High Court saying that it has to be made as a park.
Wow.
But unfortunately, the story doesn't end there. Though we got the order, still BDA has not implemented it. We wish, we pray, we hope that soon it will be converted to a park.
But that land is untouched.
So,
Yeah.
God's grace in this whole journey, what has happened is, still, though it is not a park,
It's green, right? I've seen it.
It's green. The lung space is there. It's not being abused, misused. The trees are there.
Yeah.
So it was I think why I took up this is this was a real, I would say, civic amenity struggle.
Yeah.
Which was done by the residents.
Yeah.
For their neighborhood.
Yeah.
Very classic example. I read it somewhere that there are 3 types of societies. One is where you really care for only your house.
Yeah.
Your house should be clean. The second type of society is where you care about your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Which you normally find in Europe or anywhere.
Yeah.
And the third type of society is where you give your, where for your country is everything.
Yeah.
The Japan or the forced culture in China, whichever way. I think this is a classic example of the second type.
Yeah.
Where all the residents come together.
Yeah.
And fight for a common cause.
Yeah.
Which is nothing but to make my neighborhood good.
Yeah. It's a very good case study that people should know that sometimes you'd rather have a stay order, you'd rather have it maintained.
Absolutely.
And it takes time, right? So we don't know how it will conclude, but certainly this case is a good one.
Yeah.
To tell you how the community matters, community steps in. So tell us about this beautiful tree. I have seen it. It's literally at the same building that you are living in, or just in between another building.
Yeah.
So tell us all about it.
So there is this beautiful gulmohar tree, which is almost 50-55 years old.
Yeah.
And I've been living in this building for almost 22 years now.
Yeah.
Almost 22.
So the tree has always been there.
The tree has been always been there. And a friend of mine who lives on the terrace floor, from his balcony, we have been watching this gulmohar in its bloom in every season.
Yeah.
The birds coming in and all that. So beautiful memory we all have, So one fine morning, I was not there, and my children called me and said that, there is a building coming up next door, and they want to have an access to their entrance. And as per them, this tree is causing problem for the pedestrians. So they got an order from BBMP to chop it off. And within no time, so many residents.
Yeah.
They just came, surrounded the tree, and said that nothing doing. We will not let it be cut, actually. And then we spoke to. There is a tree officer in BBMP,
Sure.
A senior officer. So we were able to reach out to him, and I must thank him. He was kind enough.
Yeah.
So he immediately stopped the whole thing. There was some miscommunication, whatever. So it got stopped, and then we next day we demonstrated there was a kind of a demonstration by all the residents that this should not be cut. So.
And I know that you sat at the tree. Tell us more about that experience.
So, I mean, what happens is sometime when something which is close to your heart, you just get carried away with that. So since it was close to my heart, so I literally decided to sit in front of the tree. And then it become a news in the TV channels. A few channels
That's
came.
So nice.
They run the story and all that. And traditionally, the construction in Bangalore has been world class. And I know for sure that these norms people follow. You don't have to tell them. So it was a shocker to me that why it happened. And as you said, then out of that frustration, anger, passion, I pulled a bench and sat the whole day in front of the tree.
And the tree is there. You'll have saved it.
No, we have moved to the court. The court has given a stay order. So still, it will. I think. I hope eventually the justice will prevail. On one street, to have so many civic issues where people have come together, joined hands to just with one objective to make our Namma Bengaluru as beautiful as it was used to be. But I remember way back in the 80s how beautiful it was. And I strongly believe, Mona, I would like to sum it up with the fact that, and I want to give this message to every Bangalorean who is concerned about this city, who loves this city, who wants his grandchildren to feel the same about the city, what we feel, is that stop cribbing about what the government is doing or not doing. Ask this question, what you are doing about it. And I think even a small drop of, because ocean is also made of drops of water.
And that drives change.
And that drives change. So my belief is that if after listening to this story, if there are 10 streets in Bangalore where this story is replicated, and we have enough and more civic issues. We just tend to ignore it or close our eyes.
So basically for me, I mean, I've been listening very attentively because these are like not easy stories to share. It's a lived experience, right? And a lot of times people today can see that in 1 hour it was shared, but there's a lot of struggle, there's a lot of persistence, perseverance that a community has come together. So it's wonderful to listen to it. And I really hope our audience have learned a lot and taken away the fact that, for me at least, it's more about really, if you want to know how to build or construct, go to BBMP, get your bylaws. If you have a problem, recognize it fast, take an action quickly, go to the authorities, try to negotiate. If not, take it to court. And like Jenna was sharing, get a good lawyer with the right characteristics and make sure they are working for you, and they will work for you as well. And ultimately, I think community, giving back, service also matters. It gives a great well-being and sense of living for each one of us, right? So it's been beautiful listening to you, Raj, and thank you for taking time and coming.
My pleasure.
These are very complex issues, too many players, and there is no solution apart from trying to participate as an active citizen, one step at a time, or like you beautifully said, one droplet at a time. So on that note, thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's wonderful having you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.